time. I know it's a busy and exciting time for you right here with the NFL draft about to fire up. Hopefully, here in the next couple of days, you're going to hear your name called and fulfill that dream of playing pro football. So, first of all, again, let me thank you for giving us this time. But before we get started on the real fun football talk, let's just talk about how you're handling this virus, how you're holding up. You look good, so I guess you feel good. Just how are you surviving all of this?
Really, just continuing what I learned out in Arizona. Um, doing a lot of working out. Uh, gyms are closed, so I try to get it in where I can. Um, but yeah, just trying to stay in shape and stay out of the refrigerator. Honestly.
Good answer. Good answer. Typical DeeJay Dallas there. Well, DeeJay, before we talk about the NFL draft, actually, let's go ahead and go back to your end of your season with Miami. Obviously, you had a tough decision to make. Do you come back to play for the Hurricanes one more season, or do you declare for the NFL draft? Just talk about making your decision to declare for the draft. What all went into that, and how did you ultimately arrive at foregoing your senior season at Miami and going ahead and going pro?
Uh, the only thing that really went into me, like foregoing my last year was like everybody thinks that I when I got hurt, like that was like the final moment for me to just say I'm going to the NFL draft. But no, I kind of looked at the landscape of like the guys that were coming out in this draft, and honestly, just felt like I was on par with those guys. So I saw opportunity, and so I took it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, talk about going to Arizona. You mentioned that already. What you meant there, I know, is that you went out there to train and prepare for the NFL Combine, which was held at the end of February, 1st of March. Talk about going to Arizona. Where'd you go? Who'd you work out with? Were there any particular things that y'all were trying to work on before the Combine?
Um, I worked out. I worked out with two trainers, John Barlow and Nick Hill, two real good strength and speed trainers. Really just went out there and I learned how to run. Honestly, like we work sprint mechanics like every day. And the days where like I would work, bro, I was out there working like probably 4 times a day. So like in the morning, twice, afternoon, twice, and then on some days it was five times a day. And I worked out with a running back coach, and I worked out with a legend, Donovan McNabb.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, we just worked on running routes, like I said, sprint stuff and rehab. I rehabbed my elbow out while I was out there too. So Arizona was good to me, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the mountains. I enjoyed like the views out there. Didn't get to go hiking or anything, but maybe I'll go back out there one day.
Yeah, there you go. You were too busy to actually enjoy yourself, and yeah, maybe you can go back out there at some point. Well, it sounds like the training paid off. I don't know what you'll say about it, but obviously, when the combine came around, from what I've read and heard, it seemed like you did pretty good. I know you ran a 4.5 in the 40. I think that was a top 15 time among running backs. I think you finished top 10 in one drill, top 15 in another. I know you chose not to do the bench press. I don't know if you necessarily want to get into all that, but just talk about how you felt like you did at the combine in terms of your performance.
Just overall performance. I feel like I like drill work, like with the vert and the 40. I feel like I did decent. I mean, there's always room for improvement. But the football drills, I feel like I killed those. I crushed the drills. I like football, so not really a tester, but I did good. I did good. I did good on the test. So football drills, football is second nature to me. So I just went out and I had fun. That's was my main thing. I wasn't too stressed about how I was gonna do or how it was gonna perform because I had already put in the work. So I wasn't really worried about like not doing well. So just went out there and I just had fun. Just loose, relaxed, and just having fun.
I hear you. Well, I know you know how to have fun, and I know you know how to play football, but don't sell yourself short, DeeJay. I know you've always done good in school, and you're pretty smart. So I doubt that Wonderlic test was too hard for you. But
Got it.
that kind of leads me, yeah, that kind of leads me into the next question. It's more than just working out. That Wonderlic test is something everybody gets asked about. You had to do interviews, sit down interviews with personnel from every team. Just talk about that whole experience. I mean, it's a one big, huge job interview.
Oh, no doubt. But I enjoyed every moment of it. The Wonderlic test. The Wonderlic test is a rough test, but I ended up getting a good score on it. I don't know how much they look into that now, but they make us take so many tests up there. The Wonderlic was just like one of like 50 tests that we had to take, like the psychology test and all of those things. So like they're real in tune. They try to see how you learn and how quick you think. And man, I enjoyed the whole process. Indy was good to me. The combine helped me raise my stock a lot.
No doubt, and we'll see exactly how much it helped you. Of course, we're on the eve of the NFL draft, or it actually starts tonight. DeeJay, one thing that did get interrupted during the COVID-19 was Miami Hurricanes Pro Day, and for people that don't know, that's where all the athletes from Miami that declared for the draft would work out for all the scouts that come to their school, and kind of it's the combine reinvented, I guess. That got wiped out, but from some of the things I've read and heard, a lot of athletes got creative. They sent videos in to teams from their own personal workouts back at home or whatnot. And I know you kind of like to do some things with videos and stuff like that on social media. Did you happen to get creative and film any of your workouts and send them to some of the teams?
Uh, no, I feel like my film was. I feel like my film is my resume. So I just just relied on my film and relied on my performance at the combine. I put out some stuff, but it wasn't really like, oh, I'm gonna do all of these drills over again, because I feel like I did enough, did enough to show that I could play ball and that I was athletic and physical and all of those things. So maybe I'll do one tomorrow or something.
Okay. Last minute DeeJay Dallas pitch. Well, DeeJay, let's talk about things as far as the draft. Another thing that got wiped out was people like yourself being able to go into the NFL facilities and have more interviews with teams. I've read where you did have several private meetings that, of course, had to get called off. But it sounds like, according to one story I read about you, that you have had a phone conversation since the combine with every team in the NFL. I assume that's accurate. But are there some teams, maybe 5, 6 teams, that may be possibly showing you more interest than anybody else?
Uh, Vegas, the Raiders, 49ers, uh, Rams. Um, it's been a lot. I feel like everybody is just coming. Like today, I've had like 18 or 16 calls just today. So it's been rough, man. It's not rough in a negative way, but rough in my phone's been blowing up. So hopefully somebody out of those phone calls take me. There's not just been like one set of teams or like a few teams that have been reaching out to me in a consistent basis, but I've heard from everybody multiple times.
Cool, cool. Well, I do have to ask you this because a lot of fans here are certainly fans of the Jacksonville Jaguars, just south of us here in Glynn County. A lot of fans still have allegiances to the Atlanta Falcons, just 4 or 5 hours up the road from us here in Glynn County. I don't know if you have allowed yourself to think about it, but what would it be like to play for the Jags or the Falcons?
For the Jags more so than the Falcons, I feel like Glenn County would travel. Like the
Oh,
whole
they would.
county would come to Jacksonville just to see me. So that'd be love, man. I love to play in front of my hometown crowd.
Well, that would be best case scenario, but of course, I know all of us are going to root for you wherever you go, and only time will tell. But I know you have plans to watch the draft here in Brunswick with your fiance, with your young son, and of course your whole family by you. So I know it's going to be an exciting time. But what's going through DeeJay Dallas's head right now? You seem relaxed, but once that draft comes on tonight and that first name gets called, are you going to be nervous? You're going to be excited? You're going to be anxious? What do you think?
Uh, even never too high, never too low. So just even killed throughout the thing, and shoot, whatever happens, happens. This is already a part of my story. So whatever happens tonight or tomorrow or whenever this weekend, just let it happen. It is what it is.
And let's talk about what could happen. The first round is tonight. The second and third rounds are Friday, and then the third day, Saturday, it's rounds 4 through 7. According to most people's projections, you're a third day pick, but anything could happen. You very well can move into the Friday pick, second or third round, if a team has you higher on their board than everybody else. But you mentioned the versatility earlier, and of course, you've always been versatile. You were versatile in high school. We all know that. But as a running back, you can, of course, run the ball between the tackles. You have the speed to get to the outside. You have the strength and the power. You can catch the ball out of the backfield. And I have to imagine that one thing that the pro scouts like is you're not afraid to stick your nose up in there and pass protect and block for the quarterback. All those things combined, I would think they're going to help you in the draft. But I would assume you think they're going to help you in the long run and have a great career in the NFL.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I take pride in really more blocking than doing things with the ball. I feel like what makes a great running back is being versatile for one, but also being physical when it comes to blocking. So I feel like if I continue to be consistent on pass pro, be consistent in the run game, and be consistent in the pass game, I'll have a long career.
And DeeJay, of course, obviously, I've got to ask you, I guess, how fatherhood's treating you. Your son is, I think, closing in on about 10 months old, but he seems to be growing like a weed. I think he's walking, talking a little bit. How are things going as far as that part of your life?
The family's doing good. The baby's he's just getting big, man. That's my boy. That's like my heart. So man, he's so much like me. He's just a little active little boy. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every moment of it from the day he got here to now. He'll be one in a few months. So enjoying that and really try not to miss too many moments.
Well, awesome. Before we go, one last question. Anything you'd like to say to the folks out there in Terrortown?
Uh, Go Terrors.
All right, simple enough. Well, DeeJay, again, we appreciate your time. Obviously, you're busy, you're excited. Enjoy the draft this weekend. Celebrate what happens with your family. And again, good luck to you going forward. We'll all be watching and following you. And hopefully, we can talk to you here again pretty soon.
Appreciate you for having me.
All right. Thank you, DeeJay.
Yes, sir.